Hey guys, this video is packed with information, so I've really got no time to waste. So let's just jump straight into how to become a Valorant clutch god. Number 1, radio silence. On your journey to becoming a clutch god, there are a few hurdles that pretty much everyone is going to have to overcome. One of those is learning how to cut out background external factors so that you can actually focus on what you need to do. There's things like teammates trolling, teammates giving you conflicting information, pointless pings that do nothing but throw you off, and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. So tip 1 is complete radio silence. One of the best hotkeys in the game that not a lot of people know about is called Team Voice Clutch Mute Key. It's a lot of words. And it does pretty much what it sounds like. It mutes all of your teammates at the press of a key so that you're not getting conflicting information like he's at drop and meanwhile you're getting shot in the back of the head from A main or somewhere else completely different. Eventually, you'll get to the point where you won't use this hotkey because actually getting information from your teammates is super useful in order to actually get wins, get kills, etc, etc. But if you're new to the game, or if you have troll teammates, or if you're just learning how to focus more in general, this hotkey is a godsend. A quick caveat to this is if you notice quite early on that your teammates are actually giving you useful information and having good comms, and not just talking for the sake of it or shouting or trolling, then you probably aren't going to need to use this hotkey. But in the games that you do have a troll, or the games where people just don't shut up, you're going to need this hotkey. And you're going to want it close. So when you're binding this hotkey, make sure it's somewhere that's really easily accessible. I use a 65% keyboard, which is kind of awkward because it doesn't have a function row, but if your keyboard does have a function row, I recommend using something like F1 because it's really easy to get to. You're not going to be fumbling around pressing the wrong keys and getting shot at the same time, and you're going to keep your fingers really close to the WASD keys, which are super important. Another tip for complete radio silence is in your general settings, turn off show spectator count. You don't need to know how many people are watching you. It gives you zero information that's actually useful, and for a lot of people, all it's going to do is stress you out knowing that somebody, maybe even multiple people, are watching you and critiquing you. So turn it off and ignore as many external factors as possible, because when you're trying to clutch, you need to focus as much as you possibly can. So the less distractions, the better. Alright, so tip 1 is out of the way and I've already given you some bang for your buck, so how was your weekend? Do anything interesting? I'm kidding, but seriously, if you want to drop how your weekend was, put it in the comments. I'm kind of genuinely interested. While you're there, why not hit the thumbs up on this video or even subscribe to my content, because I do release every single week, and knowing that you guys are seeing it and appreciating the content makes it that much easier to make, as well as making future content that you actually want to see. Anyway, let's get back to it. Number 2, agent knowledge. One of the toughest hurdles to overcome when you're learning how to clutch is knowing what util to use and when. A lot of the time, you're probably only going to have 1 or 2 pieces of util left if it's towards the end of the round. And you know what? That actually makes your life a lot easier because you have less options. But if you have a lot of util left because your teammates have run straight on in and basically all died straight away, and you're playing a sentinel or initiator or someone with a lot of useful util, this could be difficult. I'm going to be completely honest with you and say that this is the tip that's going to take the longest time to learn, and I'll tell you why. One of the largest aspects of being clutch is your muscle memory and knowing what to do without even having to think. Say you're playing on Icebox A site. You're rotating from mid and the enemy has planted the bomb already. What someone with some experience might do is run up to rafters and try and clear the entire site. This is fair and it makes sense. But what someone with even more experience might do is, as they're rotating, notice that the only agent left is Viper. And in these situations, Vipers tend to plant the bomb, put their poison cloud on the bomb, and run off site to do some nerd lineups. Once they hear that you've tapped the bomb. Tapping the bomb is just pressing the defuse button really quickly and then getting off the bomb. It's just a strategy to try and draw people out. So what someone with more experience might do is, instead of tapping the bomb and alerting the enemy of their whereabouts, they might go up mid and come from behind the enemy while walking. They're not giving away their position and they might catch the Viper completely off guard. This is a simple example, but it actually does work quite a lot, and it only really comes through experience. If, say, the last agent left wasn't Viper and it was a Sova instead, what you should do is you quickly check the leaderboard. You need to see if somebody has their ulti or ultimate ability. Because if Sova has his ulti, again, he's going to wait for you to tap the bomb and then he's going to use that on you. So again, this changes how you're going to approach the entire strategy of defending and defusing the bomb. All these examples are doing is showing you that the more experience and the more situations like these that you're in, the more factors you're actually going to take into consideration when planning your strategy. And the easiest way to learn how to use your util in a clutch situation is by playing 1, 2, no more than 3 different agents. Like I said in my previous video, use Swift Play to learn the basics of new agents and how they sort of work, but in competitive, only use 3 agents. I recommend a Duelist, an Initiator, and a Sentinel. So pick those 3 and only play them, because the more times you play them, the more situations that you're going to be in with that agent and with that specific util, and you're going to learn and know what you should be doing before you even know it. If you normally play, say, Killjoy or something, and then you pick Reyna in a competitive game for some reason, when you're in a clutch situation, your brain is going to be looking for file not found. But if you were playing Killjoy, you would already have a wealth of information of where you should set your turret up, where you should put your alarm bot, where you might be needing to peek and throw your grenades, and all this information is super useful and only comes through experience. So just learn these agents, play them a lot of times, and burn their skills into your brain. Number 3, clip it. This is a tip I've used before, and you know why? It's because it applies to a huge range of different situations, and a lot of people aren't actually utilizing it. If you were in a situation where you died or you were outplayed and you don't know why, you should be learning why. I recommend using your graphics card's recording software, or maybe even OBS or something like that. And every time you're in a situation like this, I need you to hit clip. What you can then do is, after the game, go back across these clips, watch them. You don't have to be that in depth, but just watch the parts that you can learn from and think, what should I have done in that situation? And this is going to give you so much information that you're subconsciously going to learn what you should be doing in these scenarios, instead of making the same mistakes over and over and over and over. Our brains are actually phenomenal at learning patterns. It's almost one of the best things that they can actually even do innately without even just thinking. It's just built in. No Windows upgrades required. So the more information you can feed into this AI machine that is your brain, the quicker you're going to learn. But you need to be feeding it good information. You need to be feeding it information you can learn from. You need to be recognizing the patterns that you're making that are creating mistakes, and learning from them and adapting. Another option is checking me out on Twitch. As you can tell, I love giving people help with Valorant. I love the game itself, and one of the quickest ways to do that is to have you guys sending me your clips while I'm streaming, so I can give you real-time advice and tips and feedback on what I think you should be doing to improve. So if you're into Valorant or Valorant related things, or completely unrelated, very MA15 plus related things, come check me out. Number 4, the process. This is a quick tip, but it serves a huge purpose. You're 2v4 and your teammate just died.
What am I gonna do?
These are the steps that you're now going to be taking. First, you're going to hit your mute team voice hotkey if your team is distracting and you want complete silence in order to concentrate. Next, breathe. Take a split second. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. This is going to calm you down. It's a very simple physiological fact. The calmer that you are, the more likely you are to make rational decisions that are going to give you the edge. Lastly, make a very quick, loose strategy based on where you think people are, as well as which agents are alive. Don't be too strict on this, as there are a million variables at play, so just have a general idea. That's all. Just go through this process every single time you're in a clutch situation. It's going to take a little bit of time to get down naturally, but once you do, you're going to fly through 1, 2, 3, 4 parts of the steps, and you're going to have information and strategy. You're not going to just be running in, praying that you actually one tap every single person left. And that's it. With these 4 tips, I guarantee you that you're going to improve in clutch situations. Yes, unfortunately, not all these tips are just immediate quick fix game changers. A lot of them do take time, do take experience, but with anything in life, time and experience and learning and growing is the only way to become a master at your craft. Being called a 5-head because you've completely outplayed numerous opposition is a great feeling, but it only happens through repetition, 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 repetition. So don't be afraid to spam spike rushes, swift play, unrated, comp, it doesn't matter. Just keep playing. You'll learn how to play, pause, learn, and grow faster than anybody, and you're gonna rank up, you're gonna just become a god in no time. So thank you so much for watching another one of my videos, guys. If you enjoyed it, drop a comment down below. Let me know what kind of stuff you need help with, and maybe I'll even make a video out of it. So thank you again, and I will see you all next week.